Good morning, everybody. It is a little bit after, or right around 9 a.m. here in Malaga, Spain. I'm at the airport on a Monday. Just made it through security. And I've got a couple hours now before my flight, which is exactly how I like to have things. What I want to get done in the airport before I leave is get some breakfast. And then I'm gonna try to find some souvenirs for the kids. Got some souvenirs for the kids. Now I think I gotta make it through border control. And then I'll get some food. Made it through border control, just have to show my passport. But this thing, it says London Heathrow and 11 o'clock, boarding at 10:15, gate displayed to 9:40. I don't understand what that means. Oh wait, they haven't assigned a gate yet. That means, oh, I got like, okay. Oh, I was saying, I'm confused. This terminal is empty. There's no one in here. I mean, there's a guy on the floor cleaning machine and a couple people that work here, but there's no passengers. I feel like I'm very much in the wrong space. All right, well, I guess I got time to get something to eat. So in Chicago, it is, I think, 1:20 in the morning. I did have one coffee already, but I guess I technically should be sleeping now if I'm going to try to get used to the time zone back at home. So I think for this next flight, it's a less than 3-hour flight. I'm going to try to sleep as much as I can during the flight, and then try to stay awake during the longer flight from London back to Chicago. This is a long haul. All right, guys, we have made it to London Heathrow. I haven't been here in a dozen years. Whew. I think I've got about an hour and a half till my next flight. That means realistically I've got about an hour till the next flight starts boarding. I'm gonna get some food because the next flight's a long one. It leaves here at 2:30. Lands at 5 p.m. local. 6 hours difference, so I don't know. I just mean this is a really long flight. I haven't seen any signs to tell me what like terminal or gate I need to go to. How do I know where to go? My boarding pass doesn't say it. Oh, here we go. I just get confused real easy when I'm traveling. Everything's in military time. So confused. What is it now? It's 1 o'clock? So that's 13, 14, 30, oh, 1425 Chicago. Terminal 3. All right, there we go. Go through security again, and second terminal, which I wasn't expecting. I totally forgot that I bought a snow balloon for my daughter when I got through security at Malaga. Oh, all right, Chicago, go to flight closing, gate 32. Where's gate 32? Are the gates this way? Yeah. Okay, thank you. These are all so big. Okay, here we go. Gotta hurry. Everything is so far apart in these airports. Oh my goodness. So far. I think I'm at the end of this hallway. All the way down there. I made it here in time for a bathroom or food, but I'm here. Alright guys, I think I'm the last one to get on this flight. I was also here the latest, but also they did like an extra double search of all my stuff. So, plane's waiting for me, I think. I don't know where to go, there's so many hallways. It's like the Death Star up here. It is so good to be back home after a very long day of travel. I don't have any footage from kind of the remainder of the travel, and normally on most trips there isn't much after you land at your home destination, but this trip was a little bit different. Getting through customs was quite an ordeal that I wasn't expecting, especially after some of the experiences I had gone through in some of the other airports in the other countries I'd been in, England, Germany, and Spain over the course of this trip. I mean, I wasn't really in England or Germany, just kind of flying through. But getting through customs in the United States is an ordeal. It took well over an hour to get through it, even though there were tens of agents all working very hard, trying to process everybody. But there had to have been 400 or 500 people, if not more, all hitting those customs agents at the same time. And it was a bit of a surprise. There was no warning like, hey, you might want to go to the bathroom or grab a bite to eat before you get into this line. You just kind of got stuck in the line, and people were very anxious because they were missing flights, missing connections, and otherwise just didn't really know what was going on because their signage isn't that great. You know, all you do is you kind of just get in this really long line that wraps around like interminably, and there's no signage anywhere. And a lot of these people didn't speak English. So it was hard for them to kind of figure out what was happening when they knew they were about to miss flights. So there's a lot of tension in that space, and I tried to just stay as calm as possible. The guy behind me was on my flight from London, also lives in Chicago, and he was just complaining on his phone to his girlfriend or his wife about how angry he was about the whole thing. And I think part of it was he was a smoker, and a long flight from London to Chicago, and then spending a couple hours waiting in line, all still without, for him, being able to get that nicotine fix, I think kind of pushed him a little bit over the edge. He was fine, just really surly the entire time. Once I got through customs, and that's an area that they don't want you to like be on your phone a lot once you get close to the agents. And so, I didn't take any footage from there. And also the batteries on everything were just about dead by this point in the trip. I get through customs and I go to check for my bags. I get one of my bags, but the other one, the one with all the shoes from the weekend, the 2 new pairs that I picked up, plus the secret sandals that I picked up as well, and the Metaspeed Sky version 1s that I had brought with me, all were in that bag, and it didn't show up. And so it was a weird flight because I was a British Airways like airplane, like on the side it said British Airways, but on the inside it was an American Airlines crew and American Airlines kind of like literature, like all the stuff that's in like the seat back pocket. And so, I went to the American service desk, and they were like, you got to go to British Airways. British Airways said you got to go to American, and these are in different terminals. So every time I'm going from one kind of like desk to the other, I've got to hop on a little tram to get there. So it was a lot. A long story short, I left without a bag. I did find out that the bag didn't make it on the flight from London to Chicago. Instead, it decided to take a later London flight from London and go to Los Angeles. And there in Los Angeles, it went on the red eye from LA back to Chicago and arrived the following morning, bright and early. So I do have all the shoes now. I have the Metaspeed Sky and the Metaspeed Edge, both Plus versions. Really looking forward to running in the Sky Plus because I'm really loving that shoe already. And the Edge Plus, I think I got to do a little bit more figuring out on that shoe to really figure out, is this a shoe that's just not designed for a runner of my type, or is there kind of like an adjustment period that it takes? And what else can I kind of learn from having this shoe in for testing? So I'm really looking forward to that. And before I go for today, I want to just take a minute to kind of look back at the trip and just talk about how incredible it was to be able to travel to a place I've never been before and get lost in an old European city and running through hills and seeing the Mediterranean and getting to dip my fingers in the water and just experience things that I didn't think that this YouTube channel would ever be able to bring me. So I'm extremely thankful for that. I'm thankful for you guys for watching and coming along with me on these journeys. Really, if it wasn't for you guys coming with me, I wouldn't get to go to a lot of these places. And so, when people talk about like, oh, hey, you could have run faster if you didn't bring that camera along, or you could have done this or that and you didn't really need to bring the camera, I think that they're wrong. I think bringing the camera, bringing you guys with me is a really important part of everything that goes on this channel. And none of the things that we saw over the last couple of days would have been possible if I wasn't bringing the camera along and you guys weren't coming along with me. So
I love to go on these trips. It's a lot of fun for me. I hope it's a lot of fun for you guys as well. Later on this summer, I still have a lot more travel coming up. I'm not sure that there's anything international that's on the calendar quite yet, but right now, so far, a lot of travel in the United States is going to be happening. I'm going to be hitting some major running cities, and I'll post a full schedule, but like June, I'm pretty much going to be somewhere every week, hopefully putting in some Kofuzi run clubs and some meetups so I can run with you guys. July, I'm gone a couple of weekends, and I'm not sure what's going on in August, but we'll have to see. Oh yeah, there's another trip in August too. I'll post a full schedule of that in a little bit as we get closer to some of those destinations. So hopefully I'll be coming to a city near you this summer and we can go for a run together. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of this video and for watching all of the Spain content. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I will see you in the next one.